What's up guys, and welcome back to Random Idea. On this channel we cover everything related to stocks and investing. Last week Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk finally closed his $44 billion acquisition of Twitter after months of drama. On his first visit to the company's headquarters in San Francisco, he brought a sink with him, helping to let his ownership sink in for the social media giants. More than 7,000 employees. Musk's primary reason for acquiring the company was to change its content moderation practices, which he viewed as infringing on free speech. But now that the deal is done, he is also responsible for operating the company profitably. Twitter was already losing hundreds of millions of dollars per year before the acquisition. Now it will be saddled with an additional $1 billion of interest expense, as Musk has used debt to finance much of the $44 billion purchase price. Within about a week of taking over, Musk informed about half of the company's 7,800 employees that they would be laid off as part of sweeping cost-cutting measures. Another step he took to increase his company's financial performance is starting to charge $8 per month for blue check mark verification. The success or failure of Twitter under Elon Musk will have massive implications for Silicon Valley and the corporate world in general. Over the past decade, headcount and technology companies has exploded as they all rush to hire as many engineers as possible. The idea was that the more people you hire, the better your product will be and the greater your revenue will grow. High personnel costs have caused many tech companies to remain unprofitable even as their revenues have grown rapidly. Twitter has been no exception. Despite revenue increasing tenfold over the past decade, they still lose money in most quarters. Pretty much all the revenue they've generated has gone to hiring new employees instead of rewarding shareholders. This can be clearly seen at Twitter, with its number of full-time employees doubling since 2016. A company like Twitter doesn't make any physical products, and its platform should in theory be infinitely scalable. So this begs the question, what are all those new workers doing, and would the company be better off without them? Musk is now putting this theory to the test with the recently announced Twitter layoffs. This is the first time in recent history where a non-distressed company laid off half his workforce overnight. If Musk's layoffs are successful, hundreds of other companies are likely to follow suit, and this could drastically alter the nature of corporate America and the economy as a whole. In this video we'll look at why Musk is firing so many people at Twitter, what other changes he plans to make, and what this means for the social media giant going forward. Has certainly not been a good year for investors, with the S&P 500 down more than 20%, but it's been even worse for retail investors, who are down 44% on average. Even if you're diversified into bonds, it wouldn't have helped you much, with a traditional 60/40 stock bond portfolio being down 34%. Given the extreme market conditions, institutional investors are increasing their allocations to alternative investments to as much as 50% of their portfolios, and one of the hottest alternative investments is art. According to Goldman Sachs, fine art is one of the ways to help protect your purchasing power when consumer and commodity prices are climbing quickly. Art has a correlation of less than 0.3 to any other major asset, according to Citi, and fine art is selling for an average of 26% more at auction compared to this time last year. Per Morgan Stanley, Masterworks lets you invest in this multi-million-dollar art. This point almost everybody in the world knows about. Twitter is become the #1 place for people to follow celebrities, journalists and politicians as he was going on in the world from their mobile phone. It has been extremely successful, with a number of monetizable daily active users more than doubling over the past 5 years, from about 100 million in 2017 to almost 250 million today. The increase in the user base has led to a commensurate increase in revenue, with the company relying almost exclusively on digital advertising to generate sales. But to the great chagrin of shareholders, this growth has not translated into profitability, with the company failing to achieve consistently positive net income. Today, it's not immediately clear why Twitter has had such a hard time becoming profitable. Once the website and apps are built continuing to operate. It shouldn't be rocket science. The platform hasn't changed that much over the past 5 years or even the past 10 years for that matter. Of course, with hundreds of millions of users, there are significant data center and infrastructure costs to store and process the 500 million tweets that are published every day, but this would be far less than the roughly $5 billion of annual revenue that the company generates. The reason that Twitter was not profitable is because they hired people, and a lot of them, 80-35 to be exact according to LinkedIn. The majority of them have been hired over the past 5 years. So, what exactly do these employees do? Twitter doesn't disclose exactly how many employees work in each division, but we can get somewhat of a sense of what the employees do by looking at the teams that Musk has gotten rid of as part of the layoffs. Musk completely got rid of the human rights, accessibility, AI, ethics, and curation teams. The Twitter human rights team work to protect users who are at risk in global conflicts such as Ethiopia, Afghanistan, and Ukraine. This is according to Shannon Raj Singh, who previously worked at the human rights team. It's unclear what Twitter could do help in conflict zones, but this team did exist. The accessibility team was responsible for developing features to make Twitter more accessible for people with disabilities. These include things like text-to-speech features that visually impaired people could use. The AI ethics team researched how to make Twitter's content recommendation algorithms more transparent and fair. The curation team was in charge of the Explore tab on Twitter, which keeps track of trending topics on Twitter.